Hey there, folks. I'm Charlotte, the Gulf Coast Granny, and I'm bored to death. So here we are. Seventh Son, if you're still here, hello. I don't know what time. Oh, looks like you left your message at 8:30. I might have missed you. Hope everybody's having a great day today. It is cold here in Mississippi. We had a little bit of rain yesterday and a front moved through, and it's in the 40s. So, and the wind's blowing, and that's why I'm wearing my fuzzy bathrobe because my husband keeps the house on meat locker. So it's cold in here. So I'm just trying to crochet to keep my fingers warm. Let me see something real quick here. I'm trying to hook up my phone to my StreamYard. So, hey, DJ, how are you doing, dear? It's good to see you. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Ours was very nice. However, with a caveat, no, we had family, got to see the grandbabies. We had guests that were their husbands, well, they're military husbands. And the wives, one of them is going to be delivering her baby within the next few weeks. And she has a little girl and a little boy, and then this will be number 3 child. So my daughter invited her and her kids, and then another family came because her husband went hunting for Thanksgiving, and they didn't have anywhere else to go, so they came, and she brought her mother, and we had an amazing dinner, y'all. We had turkey and ham, and the one lady is Hispanic, and her mother brought oh gosh, what's the name of that dish? It's beef, and it starts with a B. I forget now. Not birria, but it doesn't matter. It was a great freaking dish. And she also brought some poblano spaghetti noodles. Oh my gosh, those things were amazing. And I guess it was a side dish because you didn't put sauce or anything on it. It was already in, mixed in with the poblano flake, the peppers and stuff. And it was so good. We had, the normal American traditional stuff like ham and turkey and green bean casserole and sweet potato casserole and broccoli. I don't like the broccoli casserole that my daughter makes, but that's okay because that's her thing and everybody else likes it. Excuse me. Hey, Terry, this live stream is dedicated to Madwood Barbecue because he was bored and he said, Charlotte, please do a live stream. Hey, Jane Doe, I did have a wonderful Thanksgiving, but you know something? It took me a day and a half to clean my kitchen after all that cooking. We made the turkey, the mashed potatoes, the sweet potatoes, cranberry sauce, stuffing, and I think that's it. And my daughters, I have one daughter who specializes in desserts, and her husband always makes the ham, and they both do a fantastic job. My daughter made a Gentilly cake. Oh my goodness, it was to die for. Absolutely delicious. And I was really surprised that she could get all of those fruits in, because they're out of season. It's blueberries and strawberries but boy, that cake was so stinking good. I cannot even tell you. And actually, I specially requested her to make that cake because she was going to bring cookies. I said, no, you're not. I want you to make it. Actually, my first request was a hummingbird cake. And she said she'd never made a hummingbird cake. And hey, God's Desire, how are you, my dear? Terry had beef and cheese enchiladas. Gosh, that sounds delicious. DJ, a broccoli casserole is an interesting dish. And I'm not sure exactly what she puts in it. But she got the recipe from her grandmother years and years ago. And it was one of the things that everybody liked that Grandma cooked. And it's broccoli, and I know there's a lot of cheddar cheese. I don't know what else. And then there's Ritz crackers crunched up on top, and you bake it. So there's that. And it's kind of you got your broccoli, but the rest of it's kind of a creamy sauce. I would probably like it better if it didn't have all them crackers crunched up on top of it. Seventh son, there you are. There you are. I didn't know if I had missed you or not. Because I saw your comment when you left it at like 8:30, and I was thinking, oh no, you're too early. Hey, Doggy Life, how are you? It's cat. Look, I've been herding cats all day. All stinking day. They're afraid of my big dog. You know, my little puppy, Virgil, he's turned into a giant. He's Labradoodle and German Shepherd mix. And he came from a friend of a friend. And he stays here in the kitchen with me. And I have a baby gate between the kitchen and the rest of the house. But the cats will congregate around that baby gate. And then whenever the dog approaches them through the gate, then they want to hiss and scratch his nose off and jump up, you know. And it's like, come on, y'all. Y'all just antagonizing the dog. He's on this side. He's not going to hurt you. But, you know how cats are. You know what, Doggy Life? He's in his bed right now in our bedroom. He sleeps in the crate in there. And but eventually one of these days you will see. In fact, hang on a minute. I have a picture I can show you. Because I take pictures of my pup all the time. But he's a big boy. He's still 100% puppy, that's, you know how they are when they're puppy and they want to chew everything and they want to act like they don't have any manners. And we're trying to teach him manners, but he's hard-headed. Yeah, it's a little similar, but I don't think you use the soups. It's another creamy thing. Yeah, I will. Let me find a picture. And come on, pup. Where are you? Aha. Let's turn him this way. And let's do that. There he is. And let's see if I have another one. I know I've got plenty. It's just, there he is with the same stick. He's a good boy. He's just rambunctious, full of energy. And we live in a small house. And sometimes he gets a little crazy in here. He is a cutie, isn't he? He has a old man's name, Virgil, because when I first got him, he was this beautiful little black puppy, and his whole face had gray hairs in it. Now that he's older, his face still has the gray hairs, but it's moved down to his paws. All of his paws have gray, and some of his tail has some gray in it. But for the most part, he's solid black, except for his little gray. A mini golden doodle. Okay. So how does that work? Other than the old-fashioned way. So what I mean is, do they use a mini poodle to breed with the golden doodle to make it smaller, or how does that work? Anubis just got his first real beef bone tonight. Oh, I know he was in heaven. I know he loved that. You're just glad I didn't say it was hamburger cereal. Look, I do know what you mean, DJ. DJ sent me a video one time of this person making, I think it was hamburger patties, or was it hamburger patties, DJ? Or was it meatloaf? Anyhow, they were mixing ground beef to make something with. And I think they poured about 4 cups of milk into it. And they're stirring this stuff. And I can't remember exactly how it all panned out to turn into a meal, but it was making both of us sick because it looks so disgusting. And, the thought of pouring milk into raw hamburger is just, it's kind of nasty. But I guess it turned out and they were awfully pleased with it because they made a video about it. Okay, yeah, it was burgers. Yeah. That was some mess right there, wasn't it? That was crazy. Okay, the goat is, yeah. But how does it get to be mini? That's my thing. Me and my husband used to have standard poodles. We had 3 of them. And we wanted to get another one. This has become one of the most sought after due to their winning combination of good looks, smart wits, and hypo. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But now our little labradoodle, our dog Virgil is part labradoodle and the German Shepherd part. And I can assure you that his coat is not hypoallergenic, and it's as straight as a board. And I really kind of expected a little bit of curl, but there's nothing. On his back, there's a little bit of wavy, but of course, German Shepherds have that look too. Am I ready for bed? No, I have my clothes on underneath my bathrobe. I just wear my bathrobe because I'm freezing to death. It's cold in my house, and I haven't turned my heaters on yet. I'm trying to avoid that. Anyhow, so yeah, it was a great Thanksgiving, but what I was going to say is that I think next year, and I don't know how this is going to go over with the rest of the family, because we had 17 people yesterday at dinner, 17 people. But when it's just family and nobody's coming from out of town, just the family that lives here locally, there's 4 of us, 4 of them, and 2 of them. So that's 8, 9. There's usually only 10 of us. So I'm going to suggest that next year we might go out to dinner instead of making too much food, because we always do that. In fact, there was so much leftover food. My daughter said, y'all come over for lunch tomorrow and help me eat all this. So we did. We went over there for lunch today, and we had dinner, and we might end up going back tomorrow. You just don't know. But that's the great thing about having the family close is that we can just ride down the road and be at their house, Let me see what Terry's comment. Mom tried making hamburger helper one time and mixed all the ingredients at once. That's funny. That's funny. Oh my. DJ said, Charlotte, guess how much I spent on Christmas gifts this year? Well, DJ, I don't know. I wouldn't even begin to know. $1. I'm just going to guess $1. I know that's silly. That's a silly guess. How about $0? Did you spend $0? I'll tell you what, I have been crocheting my behind off this week. But I have got to, I started making some of those plushy animals. And I've landed on one that's a robot. And I know that's not an animal, but my little grandson, who's 3, loves robots now. That's his thing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you spent $11.49. Well, congratulations, because I wish that was my budget. And you spent $235 on Nicole. Well, I'm sure she is going to be absolutely thrilled, because I would. Wow, for 6 people. That's pretty amazing. So, can you tell me what you got? Because I know it ain't Christmas yet, but I'm very curious now. Anyhow, so I decided. Terry thinks you're a tightwad, DJ. Anyhow, so I landed on this pattern of a robot because I want my grandson to have his own little personal robot. And let me tell you a story behind that. Last week, they had to make a balloon robot for class. I don't know what they were doing with it. I forget the story. But he had this robot. And I'll show you. Let me see if I can find the picture, and I'll show you. So he made it out of construction paper and balloons, and he put a face on it and arms and legs. And he had to take it to school. Well, once he took it to school, he got so upset because he couldn't bring it home with him. The night that he made it, his parents had to lay out a little pallet in the bed and let it sleep there with him. That's how much he loved it. So he had a fit when he couldn't bring that thing home. Well, not only that, but I'm looking for my daughter's Facebook page so I can show y'all the picture of his balloon. It might take me a while to find it. Oh, nope, there it is right there. Okay. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this real good, but there's my grandson with his balloon robot. So anyhow, he still hasn't gotten his robot back, and I'm sure the balloon's deflated by now. We've had a week out of school. It's been sitting in the classroom, and he's really going to be sad when he goes back to class and that balloon is no longer a balloon and the robot looks like a bunch of trash. So I've decided to make him a crocheted robot for his Christmas present. One of them, anyway. Let me see if I can find the pattern, and I'll show it to you. I think it's here. Files. Give me 1 second. Okay, maybe 4 seconds. Okay. Let me see. Oh, fiddlesticks. I might not be able to do it that way. Then again, I might. Present. Share a screen. Look at there. I'm getting good at this, y'all. Okay. Oh, I think I have to move it a little bit. Can you see that real good? Yeah. There's the robot that I'm making. Only this one is made out of thin yarn, and I'm making his out of really thick yarn. Okay, stop screen. Like this. So it's going to end up about this big around and about that tall. So I'm very excited. I don't have exactly those colors, but I'm making it out of like a seafoam type green, blue, yellow, and red. So I hope he does, Jane. I hope he really loves that. And it's not hard to make. It's just a lot of little things you have to do. to get it all put together. And I'm almost finished with the head part of him right now. You had, wait a minute. You didn't do Thanksgiving this year. Well, doggy life, that's all right. Sometimes you were still sick. Okay, well, that makes sense. Nobody wants to do all that mess or that work and clean up and all of that. You don't even want to go out when you're sick. So I get that. And you know what? Christmas is coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, you counting my seconds. You had $100 in credit, a toy for my niece, a shirt for both my dad and brother, and a necklace for your mom, and perfume for your sister and sister. You know what, DJ? I think you did a fine job. That is wonderful. Oh, thank you. God's desire. I try. But now I will say this. I used to babysit my grandchildren. And it was not something I wanted to do. It was something that was necessary for me to do because my daughter needed to work, right? And so I babysat my granddaughter, Millie, till she started school, from the time she was about 4 or 5 months old. And then she had another one, and she had my little grandson, and he's a little interesting. He's a little bit special needs, and he has quite the personality. And sometimes he can get a little bit violent, or has meltdowns and things like that. So he got kicked out of preschool twice, and I ended up having to watch him because of that. And I watched him for almost an entire year. And I finally told my daughter, I said, look, this is wearing me out. I cannot keep up with him. I have other things that I want to do in my old age. No, they don't think it's autism. But I don't think that there's a final word on what is going on yet. He has a lot of ADHD, a lot of that. Yes. So, it's funny because everybody seems to have problems with his behavior. And then when he comes here, and I know the reason for it, okay? It's not that I'm a great babysitter or that he loves me more than everybody else. It's because let me get back to my story. Everybody else has problems with his behavior. He's bitten his teachers. He kicks them. He slaps at them, all this stuff, right? And the teachers don't want to put up with it. But when he comes to my house, we sit here at my table, we play games, we watch videos together, we color, we draw, and that's the difference. When he's at school, he has to follow all of this structure, and those teachers have 20 to 30 kids that they're dealing with. And when it's me and him, it's just me and him. And I know that's the difference in his behavior. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you. I think he's gonna be okay. I really do. The biggest problem he has right now is communicating. He does not have a huge vocabulary, and a lot of the words that he says is hard to even for me. I'm around him a lot, and it's hard for me to understand him. But he has learned how to get his point across. He's a precious little boy. He really is. He's as sweet as he can be. I will say my sister and sister-in-law are easy to shop, and so are my parents and niece. But my brother, he wants stuff I can't afford. You know what? That's the story of my life, DJ. And everybody in my family wants stuff that I can't afford, so they get what I want them to have. So there you have it. In fact, my son wanted a PS5 for Christmas, and I'm not buying it. He's got a perfectly good working PS4 in his bedroom, and he can use that. But he's kind of grounded from that right now. So he did something really stupid at school and got suspended for 10 days. So there's that. So he is not only suspended at school, he is suspended at home too. Now, I did give him Thanksgiving Day off, and I let him enjoy the day. I let him use his phone to talk to his little girlfriend. And today I gave it to him for 30 minutes. Oh, yeah, I love that song. Look here. Dwayne, that's one of my favorite Janice songs. You know, Terry, teenagers will do dumb things. It's the nature of the beast. And there are consequences to be paid for everything we do. And he is learning that now. So it is what it is. And I'm not going to say, you know, what he did, because it's not important. What's important is he made a dumb decision. It's costing him a lot. Not financially, but you know what I mean. It's costing him a lot. And he probably will not be able to participate in indoor season because of this. And that is a lot. That's a price higher than I think he was willing to pay. So, but hopefully it's a learning opportunity for him. And the next time he decides to do something stupid, he will investigate what all the consequences are before he makes a choice to do it, you know? That's the best we can do with him. I mean, and you know, I'm not one of them kind of moms that I'm not going to beat him up over it. And I don't mean literally beat him up. I mean, I'm not going to just keep messing with him about it. And I'm not going to make the punishment not fit the crime. I don't believe in that. And I don't believe in dragging punishments out over a huge, long period of time. I don't think that that does anything except make them angry. And even the Bible, it says, fathers, do not anger your children to wrath or something like that. I forget. So I've learned after parenting 7 children, he's number 7, that consequences should be immediate. And that's what we're doing. Y'all, my mouth gets so dry when I talk all night on this thing. I look cozy. I feel wonderfully cozy. And actually, my hands aren't near as cold as they were when I first started this live stream. It's going to suck if he can. I know it is going to suck. And if he's not real smart, he will screw himself out of not being able to try out for marching band next year too. So we're going to have to wait and see how it all goes. That's it. Do not provoke your children to anger. That's it. That's the one. Admonish them in the... Y'all, it's been so long since I opened that book. But you know, we all had to learn life lessons. And I wouldn't trade the age I am now for being any younger, because the older I get, the more I realize that all of that time spent learning all those hard life lessons, it was worth it, but I wouldn't want to do it again. So there's that. And I feel for these kids who have to make choices at such a young age. It's something my father told me years and years ago when I was a teenager. He said, Charlotte, the decisions that you make today are going to affect the way you live the rest of your life. And you know, when you're 15, 16 years old, you don't believe that. You don't believe that. And I'm thinking to myself, what's this old fart talking about? He don't know. He don't know nothing. Well, he did know something. And, it took me many years to understand what he meant by that. Yep, that's right. That's right. Do you know the rest of that, DJ? The rest of that says, this is the first commandment with promise that ye may live long on the earth. Something to that effect. I used to say that one to my children, and I would tell them, you know what that commandment means? You know what that means? It means you need to do what I tell you, and God won't let me kill you. You know how kids will go around saying, my mom's going to kill me. If she finds out so-and-so, my dad's going to kill me. Oh, gosh. I probably shouldn't be talking that stuff on YouTube. They'll get a little bit offended by it. Your depression has taken me over, so I can't go to church very often. It's all right. There ain't no rule saying you got to go to church. I don't go. I ain't gone in years. I would, but if that's something that you enjoyed doing before, I understand. I do. The people who were around in the Great Depression in North America can teach us a lot about persevering. And that is true. And I think I see a lot of, what was that quote I heard not long ago about how weak men create hard times and hard times create strong men. And it's a vicious circle. Strong men create good times, and then good times create weak men. And it's from a book, a sci-fi book, actually. But I found that quote to be so relevant today. Because we had a lot of good times in the 80s and 90s, even the early 2000s before the crash. And we even recovered from the crash pretty good. I mean, I know a lot of people lost everything they had during the crash, as far as housing and stuff is concerned. But it wasn't so bad that people couldn't recover, and pretty quickly. And now we're seeing these kids come up and look, I know a lot of hardworking kids, and I get kind of irritated when I hear older generations talking about how lazy and entitled that kids are today. And because I personally know quite a few that are not that way. A lot of them were band kids that I was exposed to when Violet was in the band, and now kids that Murphy is exposed to now that he's in the band. The restaurant that my daughter works for, the owner says he would love to hire nothing but band kids because they have a better work ethic than any of the other teenagers that he hires. However, good times do create softness. And, I think we're seeing a lot of that. Tough times don't last. That's right. That's right. Hey, Jen, how you doing? Is that my cousin? It might be my cousin, y'all. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. That right there. Yes. And when tough times come and you get through them, you find out what you're made of. You really do. I mean, I've experienced that in my lifetime. I'm sure most of you over 40 have experienced that too. And you come out on the other side and you realize, hey, I'm pretty tough. You weren't raised religious. You just remember hearing it a few times when I went to church with family. That was a good one to remember, though. It teaches you to, it really teaches you to honor your parents. That's all it really wants you to do. And that's not a bad way to live your life, is it? Morgan works hard. That's right. This is my cousin. I love you. I love you, Jenny. Um, and she's 20 now. Morgan's daughter. And Morgan busts her fanny. And my own daughter, she works as hard as she can work, you know. She makes good money too. I'm a little jealous. Um, anyhow, I don't even know where I was going in that conversation. I guess I was talking about my son and his faux pas. But this one's gonna this particular incident is gonna teach him a lot, and I'm glad about that. Yeah, they do have a lot of good teachings. Yeah, yeah. In fact, well, the one that I was referring to before, obey your parents in the Lord, that one, or obey your parents like you would God. That one's in Ephesians, but the other one I think is a Proverbs. Thank you, Jenny. I'm so glad you're on here. Can you add to the conversation, my dear? That's opening a can of worms, ain't it? Oh, Lord have mercy. We'll get kicked off of YouTube. What have I been crocheting? Well, right now I'm crocheting a stroller-sized or car seat-sized baby blanket for my new grandbaby. And I'm almost finished with it. I'm also working on this green one for my grandbaby. Now, look, y'all, we don't know if this is a boy or a girl child. So I've been trying to use fairly neutral colors to make a blanket with. And here is another one that I'm making. Let's see if you could. This one's green. It kind of looks a little gray in the screen, but it's green. And I'm going to put a gold colored border around it for a Christmas blanket for a boy. Because, you know, this is going to be a Christmas baby. It's due on the 19th or 20th. I forget. And then I'm also making this really cozy blanket out of a velvet yarn. And it's the same on both sides, which is really cool. And it's super thick and super cozy, kind of like my bathrobe. And I'm also working on a robot. I'll show you what I got done so far. Let's see. Where are you? See, look at all these colors I'm pulling out of here. Okay. I don't have much done, but this is the top of his head. And I've got this little, well, this blue border is going to go around the top of his head, and then the body starts underneath here, and it'll come straight down. Your Christmas has been, Madwood Barbecue, Terry. I am so looking forward to that. I can't even tell you. Y'all, I've never heard of this stuff before, as long as Terry's sending me some cherry mash candy from, I guess they only carry it in the Midwest. I don't know, but I'm telling you, I've never heard of cherry mash. And he was describing it to us was it last weekend or the weekend before? Anyhow, it's been recently. And he's describing this cherry nougat with chocolate and nuts. And I'm thinking, oh my God, that sounds delicious. So I looked it up here because I figured I could go down to Walmart and get me some, right? We don't have any. I went to Winn-Dixie. We don't have any. So graciously, Terry has decided to send us some. And that is so kind. And we are very grateful, Terry. Thank you so much. Was it okay? It was last weekend. Okay. Thank you, Dwayne. I thought that the colors were, while not super masculine, It's for a little 3-year-old boy. He ain't gonna care as long as it says blue and green, in his mind. As long as he knows it's blue and green, he'll love it. He likes blues and greens a lot. Actually, I'm gonna make some of it in orange too. Some of the little knobs, they're gonna be bright colors. And the little pocket, there's a pocket. Anyhow, I've got it in my head. I can see it in my head. I made a stingray. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. I don't have it here. My daughter has it in her car because I gave it to her. I got a picture of it though. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. I was so shocked and surprised that I did this. Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate that. But I was just experimenting with this, okay? So I made, that's my daughter right there. I made that little plushie for her. That's the top of it. And then this is the bottom with his little mouth in the right place. And it was super simple to make. I think it only took me like 30 minutes. And so I thought I'd make a few of those. I'm going to make them like cat toys. I'm going to put, the stuffing is only in the center. And that's what makes, see how the wings kind of go up a little bit on this? Oh, let me get fiddlesticks. I don't know what I've done to make it look so bright. Nope, that ain't going to work. But anyhow, you can see how the wings go up. Booger. Anyhow, but the stuffing is just in the middle. And I was going to mix the stuffing with some catnip and then sew it all up and use it for cat toys. And I thought that'd be such a cool idea, is make some little tiny things like that and put catnip in it. Because I've got a jar of catnip probably 8 inches tall. And it's a good bit of catnip. So anyhow, I thought I would do that. What else am I working on? Well, I got to get all this finished before I start. My yarn's not back here. I need to make a very special red blanket for the new grandbaby. And I have, 26 days now to get it done. And I know that I'll be able to get it done. I'll probably be able to finish that blanket in about 4 days, maybe 3. But I'm not sure I bought the right yarn. And when I first saw it to order it, I loved it. But it's not bright and flashy enough for me. So I'm debating. I'm going over to Hobby Lobby tomorrow because they're having a great 30% off sale on their yarn. Oh my goodness, Terry, that's terrible. Hang on a minute and I'll let you know what I think. I got to think about that. Seventh son, why can't a leopard hide? Because he's always spotted. But anyhow, I want to make a red one for a girl for Christmas. I guess it could also be for a boy for Christmas. And also the green one. That's why I went with red and green blankets, because it's going to be a Christmas baby. And I don't have to pick a gender yet, And that's really bothered me, not knowing what the gender is. It's none of my business. It's their baby. They can choose what they want to do. But being able to prepare and buy for said baby, that's been an issue. Hey, honey.
What?
Will you sit here and talk to folks and come for a minute? I have to run to the little ladies' room.
Let me get a shirt on.
He's going to put a shirt on and come back and relieve me for a minute, if none of you mind. Hey, Yankee Kyle, how are you doing, my dear? He does. Seventh son puts on some. You know who that is, Dwayne. He's been in our chat for at least 2-3 years. How do moths swim? Using the butterfly stroke. Are you done? Oh, my Sasquatch is here. I will take a little bit of a break. Go ahead, Poppy.
You're a Sasquatch.
Let's
see.
Introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Poppy. I'm actually Wesley, but same person. Let's see what's going on. She just kind of left me here. She calls me Sasquatch because one of my kids got me this years ago. And I figure since Santa Claus came in down Macy's parade yesterday, I can wear it now. Let's see. Where is her chat? Leopard, frog, toad. Hey. Oh, toad. There we go. I have been busy. I've been stupid busy. I work for a company that does a lot of communications for police, military, fire, all kinds of stuff. And I've spent almost a month in Florida doing work and then another month in Louisiana doing work. So I've been just crazy busy. And trying to make my car play nice. Hey, good to see you guys too. She likes kicking me out when it's time to play. And no, is Grumpus in yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so
I don't know if he's coming. I know he went to see his sister for Thanksgiving.
Isn't she there in Texas?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he might be with them, for an extended visit.
Right.
I don't know, but I don't know for sure.
See,
Shoot, him and Mrs. Grumpus might be on a date. You never know.
No.
Now that he's able to get up and move around a little bit better.
Can he drive now?
Uh-huh. Okay, I'm done.
You done? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure.
See, I told you she just uses me and abuses me.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Poppy.
I'm going to go eat chips and go to bed.
All right. Hey, do you want some of that salsa? I got that peach salsa.
Nope, I'm just going to eat some salsa this late at night. I'll be.
Oh, yeah, that'll be bad for you. Yeah, yeah.
I'm getting old.
Do you know the story about the chicken that crossed the road? Me neither. I couldn't follow it. How many tickets does it take to make an octopus laugh? 10 tickles. Okay, 10 tickles. Well, yeah, it has to be 10.
At first, I saw just a 10, and I'm thinking, what, the warthog?
I know.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Well, that was very nice of Poppy to relieve me. But no, after I get the blanket made and all this baby stuff done, I'm going to start making. I don't know what I'm going to start. I really don't. I'm kind of. I just want to get all this stuff done. I'm on a timeline now, and I need to get it done. I'm not making a lot of Christmas gifts this year, just the one little robot. Usually I make more. I mean, I have a lot of hats that I've made throughout the year that I could possibly give away. I also made a blanket for my son as a housewarming gift, and I still haven't sent it to him. And I feel bad about that, but I'll get it out here before too long. I just don't want him to think that it's a Christmas gift. So I don't want to send it for Christmas, at Christmas time. But he lives all the way over on the East Coast of Florida. So he's a good 7.5 hours from me. And he wasn't able to, none of my boys were able to come for Thanksgiving this year, except for the one that lives here. So that's 3 that we're missing this year. 3. Rebecca, touched by yarn, is making me a stocking. Oh, no kidding. That is really nice, Terry. Really nice. Makes me think of that WKRP episode where Les Newman dropped the turkeys out of the helicopter thinking they could fly. Look, it has been a long time since I have even thought about WKRP. And in fact, when that show was on air, I was a little too young to understand the humor. Yeah, I was probably in about the 6th and 7th grade. And, 6th and 7th graders were back then were not nearly as worldly as they are today. She made me one before and your mom took it. That's funny, Terry. So does your mom live close to you? Poor Poppy, always being used. I know, DJ. It's a tragedy, isn't it? Poor guy. If it's not used to give me breaks on to build chicken coops or fix the fence or build a garden, whatever. But I only allow him to do things like that because he's good at it. Right, ladies? Oh, only a block away. You lucky thing. I wish my parents were closer. I really do. She does make beautiful hats. She really does. And doesn't she do her hats on the loom? I think she does. When I was doing all those 30 hats what was it? The month of September, October, November. I think it was September or October. We did a month of hats. Well, I didn't finish the month of hats. I only got about 18 hats done. But I do have those that I can gift out if I need to. I was going to donate them, and I didn't feel like I had enough. But I could always add to it and donate them later. A man was asked by city officials if he could get a new cemetery made for the municipality. He said it was possible, but it would be a very big undertaking. Hey, Jackie, how are you tonight? We're bored. We're bored, and Terry Madwood Barbecue asked me to go live tonight because he was bored too. So I decided, well, I could do that. I don't have anything going on here except crocheting and chatting, and so here we are. 10 steps from your house to Dad's house. See, I'm kind of jealous now. I really am, because we were supposed to go to my parents' house for Thanksgiving this year. And my sons, y'all know my sons lost their dad in September. And at that point, they said they were going to come over for Thanksgiving since, Dad was gone. And then the older one decided to sell his house, and they're closing on December 3rd. So he's got a lot of moving and stuff to do this weekend and said he couldn't make it. And I mean, last minute, maybe a week ago, told me he couldn't make it. Well, at that point, I couldn't change my plans and just pop in on my parents for Thanksgiving. I didn't feel right about that. Here it is 10:09. So we decided to stay here. I'm going to spend Christmas here, but the day after Christmas, I'm going to Georgia, where my parents are for my birthday. I get to spend my birthday with my parents for the first time in probably at least 30 years. So that'll be fun. What time do I go to bed? Doggy life, you ain't been around long enough. I have terrible insomnia. And so I don't sleep a whole lot. And if I had to give you my normal bedtime, it would be sometime around 3 in the morning. I go and go and go until I'm just exhausted. Sometimes I don't go to sleep till 8, 9, 10 o'clock the next day. So that's when it's real bad, though. Right now, it's not real bad. It will get real bad in the spring. Well, I hate to say that because I don't like speaking them things. You know what I mean? Um, but historically, it has gotten very bad in the spring. And I think that's because the days get longer and I get more energy because it's spring and I've got so much gardening to do and prepare and, all that stuff. Thank you, Jane. Thank you. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button and share me out. Maybe other folks want to listen to us chat and gossip and all that good stuff. Oh, Jackie, if you're still here, this is what I'm working on today. It is a stroller-sized blanket for my new grandbaby. You would like to visit Macon. Why Macon? Just curious, Dwayne. Macon is not far from where my parents live. I would say maybe an hour. Maybe not quite an hour. Thank you very much. This is the one that I'm doing with 3-weight bamboo yarn. And it's a very simple 1-row repeat, but there are a lot of stitches in each row. It's a puff stitch, and then a V stitch, and then a puff stitch, and then a V stitch. So it can go by very quickly. I like it because it's mindless. I don't really have to pay attention to what I'm doing. I don't have to count anything. And sometimes those are great. You want to see the Allman Brothers Band Museum, the big house. It's in Macon. Oh, okay. Well, now that makes sense because I know you're into that kind of stuff. I didn't know I didn't know they had a museum, let alone it was. Boy, I tell you what, if they made a museum out of the Leonard Skinner houses, there wouldn't be much to look at. They were raised in the same neighborhood that my father was raised in. And they went to the same school that my dad went to. And my dad knew all of them. And was friends with Ronnie Van Zant. And they were raised in an area of Jacksonville that was fairly poor and small. And yeah, I do not know. I do not know if he did or not, because I think that was their high school teacher. And they did. My dad did not go to the same high school with them. He went to school with them from elementary up to junior high, and then they split high schools. But I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that for that reason. But, there's a very good chance that if my dad's life hadn't gone the way it did, he might have been on that airplane with them. Because he was very good friends with Ronnie. I'm not sure about the rest of the band, but I know for a fact he was. You believe the Van Zandt home is a museum, but I could be wrong. Leonard Skinner was the gym coach. Yeah. And later got into real estate. Yeah. He was his high school gym teacher. I don't know a whole lot about that. But now I do know I used to work at a jewelry store on Blanding Boulevard in Jacksonville. And Donnie Van Zant and his wife lived in the neighborhood behind this jewelry store. And that woman used to come in all the time and buy all kinds of jewelry from us. And we all knew who she was because, she was the lady with the money. She was a real nice lady, though. But I knew where they lived, but I didn't know where. Let's see. Butch Trucks, the drummer for the Allman Brothers Band, was also from Jacksonville. There were a lot of bands from that era that came out of our area in Jacksonville. And actually, what's that other band from the 90s? Not Corn. I think Limp Bizkit. They're from Jacksonville. I think it's Limp Bizkit. I'm not sure. What did the duck say when it bought chapstick? Put it on my bill. That's so funny. But yeah, I don't want to talk out of turn and say things that I don't know are true about that band or those people. I just know here's what I know. They went to school with my dad. My dad was friends with them. And that's it. That's all I know. I'll have to ask him more about it. I do know that shortly before they were in the crash, Ronnie called my dad just to say hey and chat with him a little bit. I do know that. Yeah, the Outlaws were from Florida. Creed. Yeah, Creed. Molly Hatchet. Yeah. Gosh, I had forgotten about all those bands. Have you ever had cherry bread? No, I have not. But I've got some frozen persimmons in my freezer. And I'm going to make me some persimmon bread with it. Because I don't think it's fit to, some fruits, they get mushy like a tomato would. And you don't want to eat it after you put it in the freezer unless you put it in something. No, I've never had cherry bread. I've had cherry pie. I really like cherry pie. I really like cherry limeade. And I'm really thinking I'm going to like some cherry mash. I'm excited about that. Oh, gosh. So what are all your plans for Christmas? Is anybody decorating? Are you going to travel? Because, we only have, is it really only 26 days? Yep, it's really only 26 days. And y'all, usually I have all my Christmas shopping done by now, and I have not bought the first thing. I just don't feel, I'm not feeling Christmassy this year. Things are happening way too fast, and it seems like I should have more time, but I don't. It's really a light bread filled with cherry pie filling and a sugar glaze. Holy crap, that sounds good. A light bread. When you say bread, do you mean like yeasty bread or like a quick bread, like banana bread type bread? I'm going to explore and look at Christmas lights. That is one of my favorite things to do, Dwayne. I love looking at Christmas lights, and I love hearing Christmas music. And you'll be going to Austin, Texas to see your daughter. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Do you have any grandchildren there? A yeast bread. Oh, I bet that's good. Kind of like a cinnamon rolly bread, but with cherries instead of cinnamon. Oh, gosh, that sounds good. Okay, Terry, I might need the recipe for that. Just saying. You know how to get in touch with me. That is perfectly fine there, seventh son. You know what's funny? I always, My ex-husband is hounding my daughter to have grandchildren and has been. Now, mind you, she's 35 years old. And he has been talking like this probably since she was 23 or so. Hurry up and have him some grandbabies. Hurry. Well, she don't want children, period. And that is completely her decision, right? But he keeps making her feel bad about it. And she gets uncomfortable. She doesn't want to talk about it and blah, blah, blah. Well, now that her brother, also his son, is having his baby in December, I'm hoping that he will back off. But my point was, now that I've told that story, I think a lot of people, parents, when the kids get a certain age and they start talking about grandbabies and pushing their kids to get married and have children, hopefully in that order, but if not, oh well, but still, they need to think about what they're saying, because I don't know. I know for myself, I was not ready to have children in my 20s. I had them anyway. I thought that's what I was supposed to do, but I was not ready for them. I was not mature enough for them. I didn't know what I was doing with them. They were my experimental children. I learned on them. And now that, I had 2 sets of kids after that. I had 2 boys in my 30s, and then I had my 2 that I have here. Violet and Murphy are 16 and 19. And I have been such a better parent to these 2 younger ones than I ever was to the first 3. And I know that now. Now, I thought I was doing my best back then, but I was very selfish back then. And I thought the world revolved around me, not my children. And a lot of people might not be that way, but I was. And I think that the parents ought to just kind of back up and evaluate what they're pushing their kids into doing. I could be wrong. How do you feel about that? Really? Because I'm curious. Your daughter's the same way. She doesn't want children. I tell my daughter sometimes, and maybe it's because I wouldn't know what my life would be like without children, because I've had them since I was 20. So that was my life. For the past 40 years, that's been my life. But I think now that I'm older, I look at my family, and my family is my greatest accomplishment. And they're the people I love the most in the universe. And I think I would have regretted not having children. I mean, at least one. One child would have been plenty for me. Oh, goodness. You have 8 siblings. My parents raised me on autopilot. Yeah, okay. Made me feel if something happened to me, they still have. Oh, my goodness. That's tough. That is really tough. And I bet you your older siblings had a bigger hand in raising you than they probably should have too, right? Your mother had her first child when she was 20. That's not a great age to have kids. Look, I know they used to do it back in the day, but they only lived to be 40, 45 years old back then. So, I mean, you had to take opportunities when you had them. But nowadays, I don't think 20 is a great age to have children. I just don't. My daughter didn't make it, and I have no siblings. Oh, I'm so sorry, Terry. I'm so sorry. I know for me that my life would be empty without my kids. But then again, like I said, I don't know life without them. So if I was in my daughter's position, my daughter has a wonderful career. She has a wonderful husband. They go on trips. They do all the fun things. They live to make each other happy, and they love it. So I don't want to judge them and push my viewpoints onto their situation, because my situation's not theirs. Um, in the 50s, people married younger and had kids. Yeah, yeah, they did. Yeah, yeah. Your daughter didn't make. My two sisters were 12 and 13, and they are the source of most of my maternal memories. See, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, and I did that to my daughter too. I, I put too much responsibility on her, and I see that now. Um, now that she's almost 40 years old, and I'm older too, and I've even told her I wish I hadn't done that, but I didn't know any better back then. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to help me raise my children. I thought that we were a family, and we all pull together and we get things done. And I was also a single mom for a very long time. And I needed help. I think I depended on the wrong person for that help. Now, mind you, she was a trooper for a long time. She really was. I think that's why she's so responsible today. But, oh no, this is a different child. This is the oldest. The one I was talking about that doesn't want kids is number 2. And she didn't have any of the responsibility that the older one did. But anyhow, my oldest has my 2 grandchildren, 2 of my grandchildren. But she waited until she was 30 to have the first one. She didn't have children young, and I'm so thankful for her sake that she didn't. She just was not in a position to do it, and she knew that. There's also a huge age gap in your family. Most of my great-grandparents were born in the 1860s, other than 2. So your family had children at older ages, or at least kept having children until they were older. And that's why I say, seventh son, that I'm a much better parent today to these younger 2 kids than I ever was to the older ones, because I had to learn. I had to learn that kids need to be kids, and they can't be your friend until they're grown. They can't be your help. They can't be a resource. And I wish more people knew that at a younger age. Your mom had first at 21 and ninth at 46. Wow. So I had my first at 20, and my last one was born 3 weeks before I turned 43. So I guess technically I was 42, but I promise you I felt 412. Your paternal great-grandparents were 40 when your grandmother... Okay. That makes sense. That happened a lot in my family. My grandmother had her last child at 46. And in fact, one of her daughters was pregnant at the same time she was. And her daughter had her baby before my grandma had hers. So the aunt was younger than the niece. Isn't that crazy? Okay. But yeah, raising kids doesn't come with a manual, and life doesn't come with a manual, and you just got to get through it the best way you can. And if you're lucky, you are equipped at a younger age than most to make really good decisions for yourself. Y'all, I did a thing. I did a thing last week, and I probably shouldn't have. Really, I probably shouldn't have. But I bought some yarn. In my defense, I cleaned out my storage unit and I gave away a whole bunch of yarn. And I only have 2 shelves of it in my bedroom and a bookcase and 2 shelves of it in the living room. So I thinned down my stash tremendously. And I always shop at this online store called Mary Maxim. Anybody who does crafty stuff probably knows who that is. But they have a yarn mystery pack. And it's only $29.95. Okay. Which is not a lot of money for yarn, considering, let me show you what I got. You're not going to believe this. You're not going to believe it. Ta-da! Look at all of that yarn. That is 17 balls of yarn for $29.95. That comes out with shipping $1.88 a ball. I did the math, not in my head. I did it previously. So I got 2 of them. I got 2. So I always get 2. When I buy them, I buy 2 at a time because like they send 3 balls of this white yarn. Well, now I have 6 and I have enough to make a whole project, right? You can't hardly make a whole project, not a substantial project with 1 ball of yarn or 2 or, you would need at least 3 to make a good, decent scarf, right? But let me show you what all I got. So I got 3 of these balls of white yarn. So everything I put up here, y'all just double it, okay? Hey, Grumpus, how are you doing? I'm showing off my new yarn. So anyhow, this is just a basic acrylic. The company name is Rico Design. I've never heard of this yarn before. They say it's a 4-weight, but it looks and feels more like a 3-weight. But some people might consider it a lighter 4-weight. It is a very fluffy acrylic yarn. Lightweight, super lightweight. There are, let me look and see here. The color name is called, I have no idea there is no color name. It's just a number. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to find out how many yards are in each ball. 310 meters, which is about 340 yards in each ball. So that's 369. That's almost 1,000 yards just right here in these 3 balls. Okay. I also got red. It looks very orange under this light, but it is Christmas red, crayon red, promise you. Same brand, same specs, same everything, okay? This is the kicker right here. I'm about to show you. This is Colorama Halo yarn. This stuff is $7 or $8 a ball at the store. And I got, in this mystery bag, 4 of them. So all total, what do I have? 8. I have 8. Now this color is called Beet Red. And my lighting is not, hang on, let me fix it a little bit. See if I can, I'm going to take it out of this bag because maybe that, there. It's got, okay, this red in the center is pretty red, and it's got this halo around it. It almost looks kind of like Angora with the fuzz around it, but that is pretty red here. And then it goes to a pink. And then the outside is more of a, it's almost a purple, but it's a red purple. And it's great. I've got 8 the exact same color, exact same yarn. And let's see, what's 8 times 8? That's $64 right there. And it paid, these 8 balls alone that I got was the cost of both bags and shipping. So let's just consider everything else a bonus. Now, I got this bag of yarn. This is like a spa blue color. It's called Seafoam. Red Heart soft yarn. I love Red Heart yarn. I love Red Heart acrylics. Super Saver is one of my favorite because it's durable, not because it's soft. But it's very easy to work with. It's very durable, and it's a great yarn to use to teach people how to crochet. I'm sorry. Let me see how many yards are in here. Five ounces of yarn, 256 yards in each ball. And I got 3 balls. So 6, because I'm not going to open the other bag and pull all that out. Now, this is also Red Heart Soft, but it's in a larger skein. This one has 513 yards in each skein, and I got 2. So that means I have 2,000 yards of this stuff, y'all. 2,000 yards. This is called Off-White. Off-White. And I really like the color. It's a creamy off-white color. But I like it. It's good. It's neutral. And I can use it in anything I want to. And the last things that I got is, Bernat blanket yarn. Now, this is the really soft chenille yarn that I've been using to make my little manatee. No, it wasn't a manatee. It was a stingray. Stingray and the little robot that I'm making my grandson. And this color is called Merlot. And it kind of looks like Merlot. It looks a little light under this lighting. It's a richer Merlot color in real life. And I got 4 of these balls all together. So, and there are, 220 yards in each one of these balls. So I don't know what to do with this. I don't know whether to make a blanket or save it for making cat toys. I don't know. But I look, can you imagine how many cat toys I can make out of 4 balls of this big yarn? Good Lord. You're right, Dwayne. Your imagination is limitless when it comes to a great big stash of yarn like this. Now, I have no idea where I'm going to put it. But I will find a place. And, something else came with it. Hang on, let me show you. Oh, booger. Where is it? Oh, well, I'll pull it out of this one. Okay, I got patterns too. And some patterns I like, some patterns I don't. You know, it's random. This one, you're not going to be able to see it, but it is a dark burgundy colored blanket. It is a knit blanket, so I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't knit. This is a chevron style blanket. I don't like chevron blankets. This is another chevron style blanket, and this one is made with the Bernat yarn, the big one. And then this is the one I really like. It's a basket pattern, and I think that would be perfect to use to take with me when I go to my crochet meetings. We have a little crochet circle at the library on Thursdays, and that is big enough that I could take a project with me, carry on my scissors, my crochet hook, and my project, and work on it while I'm at my little crochet circle. So that's what I'm thinking about doing with one of those balls of Bernat blanket yarn. But they also, in each one of these bags, included a great big container full of stitch markers. Now, these come in really handy, and anybody who crochets knows that. Normally, what I have done most of my crochet career of 50 years is use a piece of string as a stitch marker, or a contrasting color of yarn as a stitch marker. But now that I have some real fancy stitch markers, I just might use them. You need a Charlotte blanket in your life. Well, Terry, I hope to one day be able to accommodate you, but right now you have to stand in line because my number 2 daughter, I'm in the process of making her a collection of blankets. I've already finished 1.5. I gave her one already, but she's very demanding. She's the one that doesn't want children and has a great life. She's a very demanding young lady. And I'm hoping very much to make her collection before I leave this world. So if I get to do that, I will start on all the other people that I want to make blankets for. You're on the list. Okay. You can also exchange ideas and get inspired. Oh yeah. Yeah. The crochet club meeting that I go to, we do that a lot. And a lot of times we have new people who are new to crochet and come in and they get to learn. Teaching people to crochet is not my favorite thing to do. But I will do it. I mean, if somebody wants to learn, they need to be able to learn. And so I just, I'll help them. We have other ladies that will help too. So, yeah, Jane, I love the stitch markers. I really do. And I love that they're different colors. Because now I won't have to go through all of my stash and cut off little pieces of different colored yarn when I'm trying to do a project that needs more than one stitch marker. That's kind of cool that they're colored like that. There's a joke about a sewing machine. If I told you it, you would be left in stitches. See, now that's something that I want to get in the coming year too, is a sewing machine. I really like to make crocheted handbags. But a lot of times if you make a crocheted handbag and you don't line it, and you have to line if you make your own strap, you've really got to line that and attach it to the bag in a way where the crochet fabric won't stretch out, because most yarns have some stretch to them, even acrylic. So I want to get a sewing machine so that I can make linings for my bags and they won't wear out and, come apart as quickly or ever. Hey, Gary, welcome to the chat. I haven't seen you in a while. How was your Thanksgiving? I hope it was absolutely amazing. You have a Singer treadle machine in storage. I used to have one of those, but I gave it to my stepmother. I think she appreciated it more than I did, to be honest with you. She's really into the antiques and that kind of stuff. And, I am to some degree, but that was just too much. I didn't have space for it. That was a big thing. It was great. Oh, Gary, I can't complain a bit. Thanksgiving was great around here. It always is. I've got so much family, and it's the one time a year other than Christmas and a few other events that we can get together and all be together. And I love that. Yeah, Jackie, isn't that a great deal? $1.88. And that's including shipping. Including shipping. I buy those yarn mystery packs 3 to 4 times a year. And sometimes you get what you like. Like this one. This one was a great stash. Okay. The last one I got, I wasn't that crazy about it. And I got 2 of them. I got some of that loop yarn where you hand knit it or hand crochet it. Didn't care for that very much. So me and my granddaughter, I taught her how to crochet with her hands, and we used that to make her a little blanket for her bed. But oh, you were. I was in your live a few days ago, maybe a week, though I honestly don't recall if I spoke or said anything. Well, next time you need to speak and say, I'm glad you spoke today. I am. You can even see, oh, hang on. Something that nice. Wait a minute. You can even see something that has a nice pattern to it and could be influenced by it to create. Oh, yeah. All the time. All the time. All the time. Y'all, all of my crochet folks who are in here, and I know a lot of you men aren't that interested. Some of you might be. Terry, maybe you should take up a new hobby. And I didn't single you out. It was just the first name that popped in my head. It's really a very relaxing thing to do. And it really helps me with anxiety, and it helps me stay calm when the house is kind of going crazy. And crochet has saved me a lot of times as far as having a hobby that I can take my mind somewhere else and concentrate on just one thing, I'm probably the poster child for ADHD. I would have been when I was a kid. And it helps to calm my head down and it clears my thoughts. Because my brain usually works overtime all the time. But anyhow, let me get back to what I was saying. See how I jumped from conversation to conversation? All of my crochet buddies, go and subscribe to Handcrafted by Jackie. She does crochet and an Addie knitting machine. She does both. She makes a lot of plushies. That's what I've been seeing her do. I just am very new to her channel. I ran into one of her very late night live streams one night when I was having insomnia. And she made a dragon plushie last night. What were you working on last night, Jackie? Oh, gosh. I was so tired last night. You were showing me your loaf cats. She made little cat plushies. Anyhow, please subscribe to her. Jane Doe, if you're still in here, could you please put her link in the comments for everybody? Because look here, Jackie doesn't have a lot of subscribers. And I think that we should. Oh, good night, Grumpus. Are you leaving us? Yes, off to bed, just passing through to slap that line. Thank you, Grumpus. You took the whole week off work. Good for you, Gary. Yes, Jackie does put out content, and she does live streams, and she does a great job, y'all. She does. Jackie, didn't you just start crocheting recently? Like, I think you said the beginning of the year. I believe that's what she said. I could be having her confused with another creator. But, oh, the possum. She made a possum last night, and it was so cute. It had a pink nose, had a pink tail. It was so adorable and really looked like a possum, y'all. Really. Did you ever figure out the eyes, how you wanted to do those? She couldn't figure out if she should embroider the eyes or go back and put in little plastic eyes. I subbed, but oh, thank you, Gary. Thank you. Thank you so much. Imagine making a knitted checkerboard with knitted check. Are you serious right now? I don't know anybody who knits. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for subbing for her. Look at there. We got you some subscribers tonight. And I bet you Terry will show up and watch them too. And I bet Beltluck 29 will too, but he won't say nothing. You're welcome, Jackie. And I bet you God's Desire will show up over there. Yep, here. I just said your name, God's Desire. I just said it. And there you popped up. And Jane Doe will probably subscribe. And I'll get some more for you. We'll get you some more. She's got a long ways to go, y'all. What do you got? 300 and what, Jackie? Or was it 288? She's got a long ways to go. But that's okay. She just started. Oh, it says you're at 270. Okay. All right. I might have had them confused. There's another crocheter that I've been watching recently too. But honestly, I like Jackie's channel better. It's very relaxing for me to listen to her, and she talks real soft. She's not a loud mouth like me. And she just chats and crochets, and you get to see what she's working on. And it's enjoyable for me. It's very relaxing. Oh, she's at 282 now. You added the rest of your accounts. Gary, you're something else. Thank you. You've been crocheting for a long time, but you just started the amigurumi. Amigurumi, for any of y'all who don't know, is the little toys, making little toys and stuffing them and giving them cute little faces. And yeah. Okay. So now you're at 282. We need to get her to that 500 mark. Oh, hey, Lydia. How are you? It's good to see you tonight. Lydia, I think that you are subscribed to Jackie's channel, but if you're not, if you wouldn't mind, go over there and click that subscribe button for her, okay? In the 200s. The other channel has in the... Oh, okay. Oh, gosh. What's the name of your other channel, Jackie? I forget. She has a gardening and homesteading channel too. Oh, gosh. I'm rotten. It's called I'm not even going to try to guess. I see it, Terry. That's what I thought, Lydia. That's what I thought. Yeah. Because I saw you in there last night. How are you doing, Miss Lydia? You want that pattern crochet? I can do that, but it won't look exactly like that. Do you like those colors too, Terry? Jackie, go ahead and tell me the name of your other channel. So I can get all these folks to go subscribe to that too, because most of the folks in here are gardening folks. Most of them. I just had an idea. I think I will start to push to get 4,547 subscribers. Then I'll take another picture to add as the background for my channel. What, Gary, why 4547? Because I thought you really liked 29. Living our simple lives. Jane, you know what to do. Go for it, my friend. I knew it had simple in it. I just couldn't remember the rest of it. Yeah, it's Aztec. I have a pattern for a blanket with an Aztec style or Navajo style stitch. And I think that you might would like it. Oh, 45 and 40. Okay, okay. That makes perfect sense now, Gary. I understand. That or her power knitting machine. I'm so jealous, y'all. I'm on I need a knitting machine because I can't knit with my hands. Okay, I can, but I'm terrible at it. Terrible. But I think a knitting machine would just fit the bill. You know what I mean? Okay, you love the colors. Okay. Well, now I know. Now I know. Woo-hoo. You just wait. The pattern that I'm thinking of has diamond shapes in it, and they're puffy, and it's really pretty. Okay, Jane Doe just dropped her gardening and simple living channel, living our simple lives. And for all my gardening folks, head on over there. I know Madwood Barbecue would enjoy that. I know Gary would enjoy that. I know who else? Who else? I'm sure Jane Doe would like that. I'm not sure about you, Miss Lydia. Do you like to garden too? God's Desire would like that. I'm calling y'all out now. Calling y'all out. I think Dwayne would like it too. You know, Dwayne, didn't you say your family were farmers? Or was that could have been somebody else? Y'all, I get people confused so much. Well, that, you know, I haven't been on YouTube very much. And I took such a long break from doing live streams and stuff. And now that I'm back, I know everybody. I just can't remember all the stories like I need to. Oh, thank you so much, Lydia. Thank you. There you go. There. Living a Simple Life is now at 371. Hot diggity. Thank you guys so much. You enjoy gardening but hate weeding, so I don't garden. You know what I've been doing? Seventh son, this is no joke. This is no joke. I plant my garden. I plant 2 gardens a year, one in the spring, one in the fall. This year, all I did was cilantro, greens, and collard greens. I did plant a few rattlesnake beans, but it got too cold too quick. And they just didn't have enough time. I did plant some squash, but the bugs got to them and plants died. But that being said, I got a crap ton of collard greens and mustard greens out there, and I've got cilantro to last me till it gets hot again. So get this. I don't weed anything. Nothing. My tomatoes last year had grass growing in them in a raised bed. I didn't touch them. I just waited till they grew up, made me some red tomatoes, picked them off. And every time I'd find a red one, I'd go get it. I didn't care if the weeds were down there or not. And you know what? It didn't kill nothing. It didn't hurt nothing. So that's what I'm doing with my collard greens out there. Now I have them planted super, super thick. So the collard greens and the mustards are all in the same beds together. Here's what happened. What had happened was I had my seeds all out here on the table trying to organize everything. And a few of the bags of seeds, the tape had gotten old and it was folded over because I had planted other stuff out of that bag. So what happened was all the seeds got mixed together. So it was mustard greens, rutabagas, and collards that got mixed together. So I just put them all in a jar and called it mystery seeds. And this fall, I went out there and threw out the mystery seeds into different garden beds. They're thick. And I don't have any weeds under there. They just, all that canopy of greens is keeping the sun from getting under there, and there's no weeds. So yay me. Let's see. And you could grow in containers, seventh son, if you really like to garden, you could grow in containers. But Gary is 100% right. Collard greens like spinach. I think they're better than spinach, but that's just my opinion. You don't eat any of that stuff. Gary, don't you eat green stuff every now and then? Once we get past Christmas, I'm going to do some hydroponic. Oh, now that. Oh, gosh. Seventh son. You should do the winter indoor gardening 2024. Look up that hashtag on YouTube. It starts December 1st, which is what, Sunday? Anything that you can grow inside under a light and grow it, you can enter the contest. It's just it's a friendly contest. I don't know what the prizes are. I don't care. I'm just going to post my videos starting December 1st about getting I've got these little hydroponic arrow garden type things. I've got 3 of them. I think I'm only going to use 2 because here's what I got. I got this black one back here that you can't hardly see. Hang on, let me do this. Okay. This one that has the book on it is one brand. And then this gold one over here is another brand. And I'm basically going to compare them to see if they both work the same, because one was only $31.99. And then this one was like 40 and some change. So I just wanted to know if they work the same. So hydroponics is a great idea, and you don't have to deal with weeds. When he eats it, it makes him strong. Good God. Popeye the Sailor Man. Doot, doot. Yeah, it's very interesting. Green Jello is okay. I don't like green Jello either. Blech. Don't want to deal with fish. You don't have to deal with fish. These don't have fish in them. They just have fertilizer that comes and you add it every so often. Oh dear. What about that mustard ice cream that you ate that time? That had y'all should go back and look for the video where Gary was eating mustard ice cream. It was funny. Sounds like a great subject for a video, Charlotte. What, the hydroponic arrow garden things? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm really excited to try. I've never gardened with one of these before. Yeah, I know you did hate that ice cream, but that was the funny part of it, because you like ice cream. Yeah, comparing the 2 boxes. I'm going to be doing that all winter long. We're going to look at this one and see how well that's growing. And then this one to see. I'm trying to do them exactly the same and grow exactly the same plants in them. I have some micro dwarf tomato seeds that I bought. I know you do. I know you do. But anyhow, teach me about collard greens. Sometime I've never had it or grown it. Collard greens, they're thick. You know how mustard greens have kind of a thin leaf that's kind of a bright green? Well, collard green leaves are thicker. They're leathery almost. But when you cook them with a ham hock or bacon. You put some vinegar in it. You let them cook down until they're tender. You can put brown sugar in them, a little bit, not much. You could put hot sauce in them. You could put anything you want in there. If you want a really good recipe for collard greens, look up Emerald Lagasse's recipe for collard greens. It's delicious. I promise you. Sorry I'm typing so much. I talk too much. My fingers fly. My mind is slow. You know I'm a redneck and can't think that fast. I know. So what's going on with you? I'm teasing you. I'm the same way. My brain moves fast. My fingers type fast. And they're easy to grow. That's another thing I wanted to say, Terry, is collard greens are super simple to grow, like mustard greens. And I will say, though, that any kind of bug that bothers cabbage or brassicas of any sort, they're going to bother your collard greens. So I recommend row covers or whatever spray you use. I don't like to use spray, so I like row covers better. It's all good. I feel like I'm dominating the conversation. It's okay. Hi, Michelle. How are you? It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. We're just sitting here talking about winter gardening with aquaponics, and we're talking about crochet and how was Thanksgiving and all of that stuff. Collards are easy to grow. They like growing nice and straight. Yes, they do. Yes. And I love the dark green. I love how dark green they are. I could use them. You know what, Terry? I could use them as landscaping decoration. That's how much I like collard greens. But landscaping that you can eat. I could just about eat them every day. Would not get tired of them. You could even use them in soup. You could use them in anything. Hey, Tina, how are you? Wow, we've got a crowd coming in tonight. Awesome. That's great. Tina, how was your Thanksgiving? And Michelle, we're curious. How was your Thanksgiving? If you had one. I mean, I don't know where everybody's from. I know the U.S. celebrated Thanksgiving. In fact, I had to send my Australian friend a little message yesterday. I said, I know you don't celebrate Thanksgiving over there, but have a nice one anyways. And what did he say, Terry? Good. I'm glad you had a great day yesterday. We did too. But I'll tell you what, don't you get tired of having the same old thing for Thanksgiving? Everybody join this conversation because I'm curious. I don't like turkey. Don't like turkey. I would love a Thanksgiving table full of quail or a rib roast or a tenderloin roast. Those are the things I like. I love ham. Thanksgiving with ham is a wonderful thing. But don't you get tired of having the same dishes? Because our family, here's what we do, okay? We do the typical cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, green bean casserole, broccoli, pumpkin pie, pecan pie. I always have to have a chocolate pie. That's my favorite. Well, good. He said he didn't care. That's great, Terry. So I forget what else we always eat. Oh, we got to have dinner rolls. We always have asparagus, and with the Parmesan baked in the oven, it's very good. But I just get tired of having the same meal every year. And I think, Tina, that's exactly what I want to suggest to my family next year. Either go out to eat at a really nice restaurant or change the stinking foods so we can get a variety and something that we can all enjoy, you know? And if I was the only one cooking Thanksgiving, I would do it that way at my house. But me and my two older daughters, we all live close to each other. And we all cook, and we take everything over to the oldest daughter's house because her house is the biggest house between the three of us. And so I have to convince them to play along if all this is going to happen. You see what I'm saying? So that's the only dilemma I have, is changing their mind. Because that oldest daughter of mine, let me tell you something, she's a traditionalist. That's not a bad thing. It's neither here nor there. But she's just a very strict traditionalist. Okay, Terry, you go and restart your computer. Y'all, that is something that I'm about to do. I'm getting me a new computer. Now, it probably won't happen till around February because I'm still saving for it, but I'm very excited. I think I'm going to say goodbye to the Chromebook because I need more power to do more things with my channel that I want to do. And I figure if I'm going to do this YouTube thing and get back into it, I'd better do it the right way. Right now, oh, seventh son. Next year, would you invite me to your house for Thanksgiving? Birria is one of my favorite things to eat when I go to the restaurant. I love birria. Now, I've had birria tacos. I've had birria, like flank steak with onions and peppers and stuff, almost like a fajita, but it was a whole piece of flank steak. I've never had birria tamales, but I love tamales. I love tamales. You hear me? I love them. So yeah, that would be nice. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine having a total Mexican fiesta for Thanksgiving? That would be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Because that's my favorite kind of food. Yeah. Well, Mexican and ribeye steaks. Those are my two favorite things of all time. Oh shoot, I just made the wrong stitch, y'all. I told you this was a mindless project. It's really not that mindless. So, okay, I'm not missing. I don't want to miss any comments. I know sometimes it goes a little bit fast and it's hard to keep up, but right now I'm doing good because y'all ain't saying nothing. But yeah, I want to get this new computer and I want to get a new camera because right now I'm just using my phone and that's all I've ever done. So there's going to be quite the learning curve, I'm sure. I'm sure there's going to be a learning curve. So DJ and Grumpus might have to be my tutors when it comes to all this technology. But that's okay because you know what? You're never too old to learn something new. And I've never considered myself incapable of learning, and I don't intend to start now that I'm going to be pushing 60 before too long. My birthday is at the end of December, and I will be, drum roll please, 59 years old. And you know, I'm lucky to be here. Lucky to be here because you know I had that heart attack 5 years ago. Right after I started my YouTube channel, y'all. Right, like within 2 months after starting my YouTube, I had a heart attack. So I am very lucky to be here. Every day since has been a bonus, and every day in the future is going to be a bonus. So, but you don't quit learning just because you're an old lady, and I don't intend to start. My birthday is the 29th of December, God help me, right between Christmas and payday every year. You'll be 48 in 5 months. Well, you will be pushing 50 in another year. Look, that's when my life got really good, is when I turned 50. I swear. Well, maybe closer to 45. And I mean, and when I say really good, it was really good before. It's just maybe I got a different view on life when I turned 50, late 40s. And I enjoy my life now. I think back then I was so busy raising my family and tending little kids and trying to pay the bills and all of that stuff. I wasn't able to appreciate every moment. But now that I'm old, I value time by myself. I value time with my family. You know, Things are different when you're older, truly. Why does my phone keep... There is nothing on here that's important enough for me to look at, but it keeps dinging at me anyway. And I can't remember how to turn off my notifications. That's okay. I'm going to put it over here underneath this yarn and I won't have to listen to it. Different view, meaning don't care what others think. Yes! Tina, I was going to say that. I was going to say that because, when you get to be 50 years old, all that stuff don't matter anymore. The only thing that really matters is the important things in life, not the BS, not what other people think. What other people think of me is none of my business. I don't care what they think. And I don't need to know it. And I try to be good to folks. I try to be friendly. I try to be polite. And if that's not good enough, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. That's not good enough. Move on, folks. And y'all know I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the John Q public out there. Like if you're at Walmart, there's no reason to be a bozo or a bonehead or whatever. You just get in there, smile, be friendly, pay for your stuff and leave. No sense in making scenes with people and acting like a fool in the parking lot, trying to steal parking spots and things like that. My husband gets so aggravated with people when he's driving. And it bothers me because I'm like, he doesn't like it when people don't go the speed limit. If they're going like 2 miles under the speed limit, he wants to honk at them and act stupid. And I'm like, hey, guess what? And he'll say, huh? And I'll say, you can't go any faster than the car in front of you. Are you in a hurry? Do we really need to be there right this minute? Can it not wait 2 more minutes? Why are you letting this bother you? So that's a process I have to go through with him. I don't get too aggravated on the road. I wish I could hurry up and finish this stinking blanket. It seems like instead of getting longer, it's just staying the same length. Doesn't matter how many rows I add to it. It needs more. It needs more. It needs more. And I think I'm just going to make it an even square. I can't remember how wide this is. I believe it's only about 24 inches wide because I wanted it, stroller and car seat sized. When you have a great big baby blanket and you try to cover a baby in a stroller, it gets caught in the wheels and, that kind of stuff. And then you got the car seat and it's too much blanket for the car seat. So you end up piling it on top of the baby and avalanche out, whatever. And so I wanted a small, compact, fairly lightweight blanket. But I'm telling you what, I feel like I'm never going to get finished with this one. I've been working on it a lot longer than I normally work on things. I made that shawl. Hang on a minute. 1 second and I'll show y'all. Do y'all remember this? I made this shawl in 3 days. 3 days. It's a lot more intricate pattern than this thing is. And I don't know why this seems to just be taking so much longer. But I love this little shawl. And, it's probably 5 feet, 6 feet across. Thank you, Tina. Thank you so much. It has that pretty fan stitch in it and every one of those fans right there has a picot. Each stitch is a picot. So 5 times however many fans you're making those picots. I don't like picots. And I knew when I started this thing, the first row, and I had to start making those picots. I'm like, oh my God, why did I start this shawl? But I did it because this is yarn art, 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. And it's a yarn art cake. It's a 2/8 yarn. And I just love the way this works up. And it's so drapey. You know, I used a F hook to make this, but yeah, I like this one. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I got a lot of projects over here. It seems like I'm surrounded by them. In fact, I have a little crochet corner in my living room, and that's where I have my recliner and my shelving for all my yarn and stuff. And then I've got this big basket on a table next to me where I throw all of my completed projects. And then I've got, hey, Duval, how are you? And I've got another basket on the other side of me where I keep the projects that I'm working on. So there's kind of a system to it. But right now, it is so overrun with half finished stuff, half balls of yarn, bags of scrap yarn, and I've got to start somehow getting it organized and packed away and put in a spot where I need to be able to see it, though, because if I don't look at it, if I can't see it, out of sight, out of mind. Thank you, Duval. Thank you. Did you ever get that pattern when I think Jane Doe posted the link for it the last time we were in either Mona or Felicia's chat? I can't remember which one. What did I do with my phone? Oh, I hid my phone from myself. Do y'all remember that? Here I was trying to look up on my phone the name of that pattern. Let me get it for you. Duval, I will give you the name of that pattern in just a second, okay? Bag o day rectangle. Thank you. Is that the one, Jane? It's called... Oh, shush. Perfume from Paris Wrap.
Hello.
No, hush, 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 hush. Here I am going to put old Crystal on my... She might have a problem with that, right? Perfume from Paris Wrap. And it is on the thumbnail, it's a gray, dark gray colored wrap. But I used all those colors because I don't like gray on nothing. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, so my daughter's favorite color, the oldest one, is gray. All right, well, she's painted her entire house gray on the inside. Her bedroom's gray, her kitchen's gray, her living room's gray with a little bit of blue. You go down the hallway, it's dark gray. All of her decorations are beige or gray. And when she had my oldest grandchild, she wanted me to make her a pink and gray blanket. I said, no. I'm not making that. I'm not making gray. I will make you pink and any other color in the world you want, but I will not make gray. I got so sick of gray. I don't ever want to see it again. And it's her fault. It's her fault. So I ended up making her a pink and gray blanket, okay? I did, because I'm the mom, and that's what I'm supposed to do, right? But I resented it the whole time. You know, I wish StreamYard had a way to put a little bit of background music on here. I think, y'all, that I'm going to start using the EV Mux. I really like that platform. And I think you can do a lot more with it on the cheaper price plan. Does that make sense? Colors are gray and navy blue with copper. See, now that sounds pretty to me. That really does, because I love navy blue and I love copper. And that would be able to break up some of, to me, the monotony of gray, right? If you have navy blue and copper and other colors, but she doesn't. I mean, I'm telling you, her house is gray and beige. Gray and beige. There's nothing happy or home other. What, honey, her living room is decorated like Halloween 24/7, every day, 365. That's just who she look, there's nothing wrong with it. That's what she loves, and that's okay. But I wouldn't want it in my house. See what I mean? But I always make fun of her for it too. So teal is your favorite, then lime green and black. No, I'm serious, Duval. Her house is decorated like Halloween. She has framed pictures of little kid zombies on her wall. I'm not lying to you. She has a bookcase that looks like a coffin standing up, and it's got shelves in it. She has a black Christmas tree. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. I'm not. Oh my goodness. But yeah, y'all, those shawls, I love a rectangle shawl. I'm losing my train of thought because I was going to get to something, and now I've forgotten what it was. But I do love those rectangle shawls, and I love all the ones that Bag a Day makes. I really like Bag a Day crochet. I like, number one, she's a great teacher. And number two, she doesn't hold. I'm a very experienced crocheter when it comes to this. When it comes to making the toys, no. But when it comes to this stuff, I can fly. I can read patterns. I can follow tutorials. I can do all of that. So for me, watching a beginning crochet channel or an easy crochet channel, okay, sometimes, depending on the person that's doing it, they can be so slow and so basic that I get bored. And I don't like to listen to it. And I'm like, come on, just because they want to tell me how to make every stitch. And I'm like, I already know how to do that. Just tell me what I need to do. And that's what I love about Crystal's channel. She does that she caters to beginners without holding experienced people back. Does that make sense? Thank you, Jane Doe. Hey, Duval. That very last link right there is the pattern to this shawl. Okay. 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 All right, Jane. I don't mean to confuse you, honey. I really don't. I don't remember that one. But anyhow, that's what I love about Crystal's channel. I have watched so many tutorials lately because I want to learn how to do the amigurumi, which is the little plushy animal making. And I have grandkids that would love stuff like that, and my own children. Well, my boy, not so much, but my girl, she She still sleeps with her stuffed animals, and she's almost 20 years old. So, yeah, thanks a lot, Jane. I appreciate you so much. So here's the thing. Watching some of these tutorials has been agonizing for me because they leave the experienced people behind. People who already know how to crochet. We don't need to know every single step. But that's okay. You know, that's how they're doing their thing. And that's why there's so many different channels for each different type of person and interest and personality and skill level. So, but y'all, you know, I bought all that yarn and now I'm on the rampage because all these yarn stores are having all these Black Friday and clearance, you know, really good prices. And I want to go buy them so badly. I really want to buy some yarn, but I know I shouldn't. I don't need yarn. If I need any kind of yarn, it would be this big plushy stuff so I could learn how to make more of those kinds of projects. As far as regular yarn, you know, like this and 4 weights and 2 weights, and I don't need any of that at all. But I would like to get some 5 and 6 weight yarns, maybe some velvet yarn, and maybe that's what that blanket that I'm making for my new grandbaby, it's velvet yarn. It's a brown blanket. This one here. This yarn is so nice. It feels like a cloud. It's just the cushy. It's springy, and for velvet, you wouldn't think it would be, but it is. It's wonderful. And of course, I think that this is the same as the chenille. It's just that this is shinier. But it sure feels wonderful on the skin. I'm telling you, I love this stuff. And both of them, this velvet is 100% polyester, just like velvets are. And then these chenilles, they're 100% polyester too. You know what, Duval? I'm going shopping for yarn tomorrow too. I'm so bad. Well, I have my allowance that I give myself every payday. And I've been saving it for about 5 weeks. And I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby tomorrow because there's a particular color that I want of their, I love this yarn. And then I want to look for some of these types of yarns because I know they have their own. Yarn Bee has a line of those types of yarns. And I want to try that. Now, I've heard that Michael's chenille yarns, the loops and threads variety, I've heard that it sheds. Can anybody confirm that for me? Because now I got these from Premier in a kind of like a mystery bag of only chenille yarns. I think I paid $5 or $10 for a whole bag of it. And this does not shed at all. Not bad. I mean, you could pull it and make it shed. Like if you wanted to pull these pieces. No, you could make it too. If you could make it shed if you wanted to. I just can't right now. Oh my goodness, Duval. That's pretty cool. She found some pounders for $4. Oh, okay. So you can confirm that I should not buy loops and threads chenille yarn, Tina. Thank you for that. Thank you. Because I was going to go by Michael's too, and then I thought, I've heard bad things. Maybe I love their impeccable loops and threads. I like their basic, I like their 4-weight yarns and loops and threads. I really do. But I had heard that about their chenille. That's pretty cool that you found those for that good a price, Duval. That's pretty darn good. Don't get don't get loops and threads. Now, do you have experience with the Yarn Bee brand? I've always really enjoyed Yarn Bee yarns, but again, I've never used these thicker weights ever. In fact, even when I crocheted, I hardly ever even used a size 5 bulky weight when I was making blankets and stuff. Yes, the chenille only isn't the best. Okay. That's good to know. That's good to know. Thank you, Tina. I love Hobby Lobby yarns too. I really do. They're a little pricey, but when they have a great clearance or they're 30% off sales, I will buy from Hobby Lobby. That's the only time I do, though. I don't order from them either. Like online, I order from Mary Maxim. I love to order from Hirschner's and Mary Maxim. I will order from Joann's. Because I mean, who doesn't? You know. And I like their big twist yarns. I like everything else they have too, but I really enjoy their big twist yarn. It's a great value yarn, you know, and also Premier is fracking fabulous. I love Premier yarns, but you really have to catch those on sale. It's kind of like Hobby Lobby yarns. I only shop at Premier when I know I'm getting a deal. You know, Mary Maxim is pretty cool. I like them. And that's where all my stuff came from. Did you see my unbagging, Tina, of my Mary Maxim mystery bags? I'll just show it real quick. I got 2 of these. Look at that. 2 balls of Bernat, 4 balls of Colorama, 3 balls of red, 3 balls of white. Pretty basic. And then 3 balls of Red Heart Soft. And then, 2 great big balls of Red Heart Soft, plus stitch markers and patterns. There, how was that, y'all? That was pretty quick, wasn't it? It was 17 balls in one bag, plus the stitch markers. And it was $64 and some change for 2 bags and shipping. Okay, 2 of the mystery bags plus shipping. I got $4.99 shipping, and because I had a coupon. And then, so $64 divided by 17 balls of yarn is $1.88 a ball. And they're not this one here, these are some pretty basic acrylics, and I've never heard of this brand before, but these are the only ones. I got 3 of these and 3 of these. These are the only ones that are like not a well-known brand name for me. The rest of them are brands that I trust and use and love. So that's what was so impressive to me. Oh, what were you looking at on Hirschner's? Because I love Hirschner's too. I like Mary Maxim and Hirschner's have really nice blanket kits too, crochet kits. In fact, I think Hirschner's is the site where I found I want to make the little Highland cows. And I can't remember if that's Hirschner's or Mary Maxim. I think it's Hirschner's. I am too. Yep, yep. Herrs. Okay. I love it. Highland cows. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to find the the one thing I don't like about Hirschner's is their app on their phone and their website online is really, really, really different. So You're getting ready to make a Highland cow crib. Oh my goodness. Where'd you find your pattern? Crib cuddler blanket. Oh, wow. That's going to be pretty amazing. You need to post that on an Instagram or something, because I would love to see that. It is. I love cows. I've always loved cows. And I think that would be the most amazing little blanket. So is that for anybody special, Tina? Y'all, I'm out of tea. That's a bad sign. Well, everybody, I think I've been on here for 2.5 hours by myself with no co-host, and I'm really just impressed myself with that. Thank you to all of you for making the conversation really easy. Okay. You bought the pattern on Etsy. Yes, it's an order for, okay. For your store or for something for my, but no, having y'all here has really helped me to keep the conversation moving as well as I can. And I appreciate you guys. Best friend's first grandchild. Oh, how sweet. Thank you, Terry. Again, everybody, I want you to know this live stream has been brought to you by Madwood Barbecue, who was bored after Thanksgiving today and decided to harangue me into going live. So, thank you, Duval. Everybody, thank you so much. Please come back on Saturday night if you have the time or the inclination. I will be live sometime between 9 and 10 o'clock tomorrow night with Grumpus on Fire, and we're going to talk about whatever we talk about. You guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you again real soon, all right?